Well, the one thing about Memphis, worst field goal percentage defense in the NBA. People talk about points allowed when you're looking at defenses. Opponent's field goal percentage, that determines who's the worst defensive team. Points allowed is a function of the tempo that you play at. Critton in from deep. And Jackson an easy flat-footed rebound. Jack trying to heat it up a little bit. And he drops in the jumper. But Baron Davis, Steven Jackson are the two Warrior starters not in double figures.
Which is a great sign.
Oh, it's a great sign. It couldn't have been written any better. Conley just kind of a casual shot, and he's more interested in his own numbers than running this team. Jackson trying to step through the double. Little step around, lay it up and in.
That cannot make Mark Iavaroni happy.
And now Barron. Talk about just salt in the wound. He steals it on the inbounds. Jackson a very deep three. And that was just how hot are my teammates.
Yeah, he said, I might as well take a chance. Up by 26.
And now Memphis will call time. The Warriors are shooting 55%, on the verge of running the Grizzlies completely off the floor, holding Memphis to 38% shooting, and the kind of bounce-back game you would expect from the Warriors after the disheartening setup in Texas.
Well, you want to maintain this lead, keep the pressure on, and then go to New Orleans and win that game to salvage this road trip.
And so ABC national telecast Sunday. We'll be with you, Roundtable Live at 7. And another national telecast, TNT, the Denver game. And then Elton Brand is back for the Clippers, which makes that game April 12th a bit more daunting, to say the least.
Well, you and Matt went over the schedule of all the teams, and you look at Dallas, the tough game with the Lakers, tough game with Phoenix. I look for that little bubble game at Portland. Denver has the easier schedule. Now, Denver has to play Utah, but that game is at home. Is that at Utah?
That's at Utah, and it's after they play the Warriors.
It doesn't matter when it is because of this. Because Utah's only lost 4 games at home this year. And Utah, how can they lose only 4 games at home and yet have a losing record on the road?
Well, Denver has a losing record on the road, and Dallas has a losing record on the road.
But they don't have the home records that Utah has. That's just really inexplicable.
Rudy Gay firing in another 3. He's been the lifeline for Memphis with 20 points on 9 of 15 shooting.
It's a team that has to find an identity next year and regroup, get to training camp, and play better defense. But this is just a very young team.
Oh, Biedrins to Azubuike. And Kalena just couldn't get it in. Bellinelli, who played 9 first-half minutes and scored 9 points on 4 of 5 shooting. Gay missing. Biedrins gave ground. Grabbed another rebound.
They had a wide-open 12-footer, just tried to get it in.
Steven Jackson buries the 3. It is all coming together for the Warriors tonight.
Well, Steven, 1 of 11 against Denver. I'm not sure if he'd hit a couple of threes, it would have made anything different the way Dallas was playing the other night.
Oh, Barron, how did he get that pass to Bellinelli? And a nice block by Kyle Lowry. That pass was just special.
Because he wanted to make a high-risk, very improbable pass. And he's had some great ones tonight, but this was absolutely gorgeous because it went right in front of the defender, Navarro. And the play to make, the logical play was on the left. Sometimes Barron likes to test himself.
He threw it ahead with English, and it spun perfectly right to Bellinelli. How do you do that? Jackson, 14 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 6 of 13 shooting. He will sit. Brandon Wright is in. So Bellinelli and Brandon Wright, and Nelly runs a play for Brandon Wright on a jumper on an out-of-bounds play.
If you notice how he's progressed, Brandon Wright, through this whole year from his jump shot. I mean, it is night and day different than what it was in training camp in the early weeks of the season. They worked so hard with these young guys. You don't notice. All you remember, you think about a lot of, if you're watching, you don't pay attention. You think of all the players that are in the games, but they're doing a lot behind the scenes.
Absolutely. Navarro with a nice finish. Bellinelli with the right idea to Azubuike, but knocked away by Warwick. That's where Navarro's best, is that catch and shoot, but missing there.
It hasn't been there for him tonight.
No, Juan Carlos Navarro, 1 of 7. And you indicated, Jim, in the 3 meetings, he was terrific against the Warriors.
But you're exactly right. He's better in a fast break situation stepping into that 3 than in half court. There's something about it.
And Brandon Wright hustling. It will be Memphis ball. So 2:05 the mandatory. Excellent third quarter for the Warriors. And how about the rookie learning to step out from the paint? With 2:05 remaining in the third, and because he demands it, he wants to be introduced just this way. Here's Matt Steinmetz.
That's really the way we're supposed to do it? Anyway, hey, we got 2 most improved player candidates here, Rudy Gay and Monte Ellis. Now, I know Monte Ellis won it last year, but he's still being talked about. I was talking to Rudy Gay before the game, and I said, you're in the running with Monte Ellis for it. I said, what if Monte Ellis gets it again? He said, no, he shouldn't get it because he knows what it feels like to win. He knows what it feels like to win it already. And I said, well, do you think you're going to win it? And he said, seriously, he said, I don't think I'm going to win it because our record's not good enough. And I'll tell you what, I talked to him for about 5 minutes before the game. What a great guy. Rudy Gay's just turned into one of my favorite players tonight.
The Warriors had Rudy Gay high on their draft radar. And then he was involved in that trade for Shane Battier and Stromile Swift.
Yes.
And that trade has worked out for both teams, and that Battier has become a key cog for the Rockets. And Rudy Gay, I think, is just going to be a star. But he was selected before the Warriors had a chance to grab him. But
number 8.
Warriors scouts loved Rudy Gay.
Well, when Jerry West likes somebody, it's pretty accurate and pretty viable and authentic.
Kyle Lowry missing there, and Azubuike. You forget Cullen as a guard because he got 9 rebounds tonight. He's just got such a great defensive and offensive rebounding mentality. And Biedrich keeps on flowing.
Where is the interior defense of the Memphis Grizzlies tonight against Biedrich?
Critton in, putting that in.
No rotation over, and they're flooding and blitzing the pick and roll, and it's leaving Biedrich open inside.
Well, Barron hits the 3. All the starters except for Barron in double digits scoring, but Aaron Davis has 9 assists. And Warwick was going to send that down. That's a great no call because Warwick shoved off with his free arm. If anything, it would have been an offensive foul. Azubuike another rebound. A little pump fake, and Milicic did enough to bother him. And here's that little Spanish teardrop. The Spanish layup, they call it.
He's good at that.
The Warriors blowing this open, a 14-point halftime lead. It's risen as high as 28.
Gonna get a screen and roll and slips the screen again.
Brandon Wright over Milicic. And a 4-second differential winding down the quarter. Kyle Lowry puts in the jumper. So the Warriors will have the last shot. This Memphis team put up 130 against the Knicks. Warriors are holding them to 39% shooting. 2 games ago, Memphis went to L.A. and beat the Lakers at the Staples Center. And yet in their own building, the Warriors are putting it to Memphis tonight. Biedrich leading the way, 21 points, 17 rebounds, and the big lead heading into the fourth.
The most exciting team in the league returns Tuesday on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. The time to make a run is now, as Barron and the Warriors have their eyes set on a postseason berth. They'll collide with a dangerous scorer, Kevin Martin, and the Sacramento Kings. Warriors, Kings, Tuesday at 7:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area.